Glick. Click. Okay.
All right. So welcome to the PSBS. That is the PlayStation Bull session. Yes, we are back. We had we kind of took a week off, but not intentionally. We had some severe technical delay.
We had
Technical
a
difficulties last week.
technicality.
Yes, severely. We did record an episode. We had a whole episode recorded last week, and we lost audio, and it just became a mess.
But
We shouldn't have that problem this week. So we're back this week after a week long. So we're recording episode 4 again. This is episode 4-2, I guess you can say. But now we kind of got 2 weeks worth of stuff, and we're gonna try to not necessarily repeat what we all did last week. And we're trying to mix the two. We'll see how it goes for the podcast this week. So, yeah. So. The big news of the week is not PlayStation related, but it's Sony related. It's the whole Spider-Man thing, but that is something.
That's just something different.
That's something different. But I'm like seriously like we're so ecstatic about this that like I'm considering doing a bonus episode where we just talk about that since we're one episode behind because last week. Yeah,
okay.
We'll do a bonus episode. We'll like mark it up as PSBS bonus episode, where we just go on about the whole Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. We're considering doing. But to the actual PlayStation news of the week, like I said, we have a couple items. Like I said, we got thrown off because of last week. So I'm going to try to pull what's some big stuff from last week we can go over real quick. Speaking of last week, well, not last week, but the week before, our last episode that you guys heard, episode 3, was our most successful episode ever with over 100 views. Yes, over 100 views.
Thank you, everyone.
Our previous episodes. Yes, thank you. Thank you for listening. And in that episode, we did a giveaway. We did a PS3 voucher code for Fat Princess, and that code was given away last week when we recorded. We announced our winner, and he got his code last week, and our winner was
David. He wrote in.
Yes. He wrote in, asked for submit his name for the code, and we did a drawing, and he got it. And he got his code last week, so it wasn't like we delayed because we didn't have a code, like we lied and like, oh shit, we don't have a code, No, he got his code last week when we recorded.
But I do have a code later, and there will be details of how you can obtain it.
Ooh, already another giveaway. See, getting up there in the world.
We have details on how you can get it.
Yes, but like I was saying, thank you guys. We had a for the successful episode last time, over 100 views, and a lot of that came within like the first hour. Like we got within like an hour of me uploading.
It was within a short time span.
Or a short time span. It was pretty crazy. I haven't had anything like that since back in like my Transformer review days. On my channel, I had this one Transformer I reviewed just out of the blue as a Transformer Cybertron one, and like it wasn't nothing special, and yet it got like 200 views in the first hour.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was crazy. But yeah, if you're like one of my longtime subscribers, you know what I'm talking about. My old Transformer reviews from back in the day. Getting all those guys excited by acknowledging those old videos. But yeah. Anyway, getting back around to the news, but this one we just hit real quick because it was a viewer question from the last episode. Some guy asked us. I don't want to say that sound bad. Some guy. I don't know. You have the name. What's the name? The guy who asked us about the PlayStation Plus.
We have somebody asked about Plus last week.
Yeah,
about like when we would obtain information about it.
And I said probably the day after we were recording, and sure enough it was. So the games have been announced. If you're hearing this, they have been out. They've been out for a while, but just
so you pretty much already know there's Transistor on PS4, there's Apotheon on PS4, on the Vita there's Kick Infinite, Rogue Legacy, which is also on PS4, so you can get Rogue Legacy on the PS4 also, and then on PS3 there's what we have on PS3 and Yakuza 4 and Thief,
not Transistor, Thief. Yeah.
Well, you can also get Rogue Legacy too. So 3 games on PS4 and PS3. So
and
pretty good.
2 on Vita. So
yeah, 2 on Vita.
There you go. Yeah, like I said, that's Like I said, all that's available right now. You can go check it out. You probably already know, so that's why we're not going into too much.
So go redeem it. All great
Yes,
games.
go redeem those. Oh yes, go
I
redeem
would
all
say
that.
just about all of them, but especially on the PS4 side, they're all great.
But let's see, what's some other stuff real quick. Okay, this is something we talked about last week. It was announced about a week or so ago, but it's still really exciting. Lego announced two new Lego games have been announced for development. One of them is Lego Jurassic World, which will come out this June, and the other is Lego The Avengers, which will come out in the fall.
Yeah.
That's
A bit after Age of Ultron and probably
bit after Age of Ultron.
and Ant-Man.
So yeah, this is really cool. That Jurassic World's coming out this summer, and it'll be coming out in time for the movie, and it's going to adapt all four movies, which is really cool. So it's not going to do like, I don't know, like The Hobbit or something where it only adapted the first two, because at the time the Lego Hobbit game came out, they only adapted the first two movies. The third movie wasn't out yet.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the DLC of the whole third movie adapted into Lego form, which we'll probably see the release of that once the Blu-ray comes out.
Yeah, probably once the Blu-ray comes out. Probably once the Blu-ray comes out, they'll put out the DLC.
So it's soon.
But we haven't heard anything, so we're just going to assume that.
No, I'm not even sure when the movie comes out in digital form of the third movie, so it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So that's really cool. And but so it's going to adapt all four movies. And it's going to be a time for the movies. So that's really cool. And some other details came out since the announcement. It was like, you can play as the dinosaurs. You can play as all the different kind of dinosaurs and doing different levels. And
that's great that you're going to be able to play as dinosaurs. That was a thing that kind of came after the announcement. Yeah, that's really neat.
And I'm assuming you could play as Lego Chris Pratt for Jurassic World.
Again, but Lego Marvel Heroes doesn't really count since they were more of the comic book Guardians of the Galaxy, not the movie.
Yeah, the Guardians. They were the weird comic versions, which is weird. Like, and then it was like the new comic one. It wasn't even like it, because the way it works in the comics was there's been like 3 different Star-Lord suits right now. The first suit, or the original, there might have been more than 3. But there's 3 main ones most people probably have seen. There's the main one that most people see, like the blue kind of jumpsuit thing, like kind of like the original look. But it's not even that one. In Lego Marvel Heroes, they use the newer comic one they used. Like when they relaunched Guardians of the Galaxy as a comic, it had this weird, I don't know how to even describe it. It's like this cosmic suit, and like instead of a helmet, it's just like a clear visor that goes over his head. Yeah. And like everyone hated that suit. Like it was stupid. Everyone hated it, and for some reason Lego Marvel Heroes went with that suit for the game. And like even the comics they changed it. Like if you read the comics now, he changed his suit. Now he wears the same suit from the movie. Oh. So it's really weird. But I'm guessing with this new Lego Avengers game, with the Guardians of the Galaxy in it, they're gonna have their movie look. Because Lego did make some toys for it, so they do have the designs on their thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this is a topic we went over a lot last week, so we're kind of rushing through this one a bit because we talked about it last week and we just don't feel like sitting here kind of repeating ourselves.
I think just a summary of this,
kind of a summary,
is that I think this is a big deal for Lego, and these games are going to be very popular because they're going to be released on every platform imaginable. So, especially with these two properties, which I think are very strong, and they do tout for a Lego game that will be very good. And I think they'll add new additions and hopefully just keep it fresh as always. I mean, kids play them, adults play them. So, just in summary, I think these two will bode well for the Lego series. I think. I don't think there's been an outright bad main series Lego game like in the main series, like one that's just flat out bad. At least like on consoles. Like I'm talking no spin-offs. I'm not talking like things like on the handhelds or like anything like that. I'm talking like just next one, like Lego Star Wars, Lego Hobbit, Lego Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I thought you meant like I thought you were referring to like back in the day, like Bionicle Heroes or something. Like
Bionicle Heroes. I mean, Traveler's Tales didn't make that, but yeah, I mean that one wasn't the greatest. But I don't think there's been like an outright bad one, like one that's like technically awful and terrible.
But Bionicle Heroes was the only Lego game rated T for teen.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a little bit more violent than your average Lego game.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit more. That's like a couple other games I saw got like T ratings, which kind of just feels weird. Like one was what was that one game? That one Star Wars game, that one that was based off the Clone Wars cartoon. It was like rated T for teen, but everybody who played it says it feels like it was like designed to be like an E-rated game. It was
Or
called like
E10.
Republic Heroes. Yeah.
I mean, what
like
game do you
Star
see
Wars
that are
Republic.
like E anymore? Usually
Yeah.
it's E10.
Yeah, probably just Madden, probably.
Yeah, Madden or NBA.
Yeah. But no, what was that game called? It was like Star Wars Republic Knights of the not Knights of the Republic. Was it the Republic? Something like that. You know what game I'm talking about?
Republic Commando?
No, not Republic Commando. It came out on the PS3, but it was like based on the Clone Wars cartoon.
I don't know, Star Wars Clone Wars, something. I don't know.
No, I can't remember what it's called. But that was one game I remember. Like it was rated T for teen. A lot of people were like playing, and like it feels like they were aiming for like an E or E10 rating because it was like geared towards younger players anyway.
Probably had some cartoon blood.
Or like another game that did that was I remember Incredibles. The game was rated T for teen.
Oh.
And that was really weird because the movie's PG. It's like, oh, the movie's PG, but if you're you can't play the game.
So it would have to be like be a PG-13 movie and then have a rated T game.
Yeah, but like this is the weird thing where like no, the movie's PG, so kids can go watch it. But like if it was rated T for teen, like oh, you're not 13, you can't play the game. But I watched the movie. It's like no,
doesn't work like that.
But of course, that was before the E10 rating came out. The game probably would have been like E10 if
yeah, E10 like helped bridge that gap. Like I almost because like this is a whole nother topic of discussion of the ESRB, but how there's those games that are kind of like a soft M, like Halo.
Yeah.
And then we have like games that are the hard M, like Grand Theft Auto, Fallout. So
yeah.
I would like almost a gap there because we in other countries there are rating systems for games that kind of do that already.
Yeah, they got the 15 rating and they got the 18 rating.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, so because it was a big deal when Destiny was revealed that it was rated T, because every other shooter that comes out nowadays is just rated M, but Destiny was T, and yeah, it did kind of work to its benefit, but it just was a big deal that was revealed, and then we expect Uncharted 4 to be rated T coming up, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Uncharted 4, Uncharted series doesn't have anything that's like bad in it to even be in the like middle ground of T and M. I mean, that game is rated T. It's a T game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But oh man, I lost my train of thought on the one what I was gonna say, but yeah, oh yeah, that's like the Ratchet and Clank games. Like the first 3 or so were like rated T for teen, but then like once they did the collection, they like re-rated the games and like they all were like rated E10 once they re-rated it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time when those first 3 games came out, there was no E10, so just all the first 3 were like rated T for teen.
Yeah.
But so yeah. Oh, it reminds me of another thing too. Like this is the kind of it just felt weird to see, but like I saw the commercial at GameStop or whatever for that new Final Fantasy game, that like Type 0 HD or whatever.
Is that one on PS4?
Yeah, that one coming to PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that game's rated M, which is really weird because like Final Fantasy games aren't rated M. Like they're all rated T.
Just about all of them, I think. I don't think this Final Fantasy is the first one to be rated M.
I don't know if it's the first, but it's just weird to see. Like, I don't think any other ones have been rated M, but I don't know. And it's weird because like it's not even like the story behind this game is that it was originally a PSP game that never got released here in America. So instead of just re-releasing it on Vita or upscaling it and putting it on Vita, they just said no, we'll just upscale it and put it on PS4 and Xbox One, and everybody was like, really? Like it just seemed like overkill, kind of taking the small game and trying to stretch it out and make it work on PS4.
Yeah, that's very rare that you can do that. I mean, God of War was on PSP was able to do that, but I mean, this case is a little different.
Yeah, and I mean, the big selling point of the game anyway is like, oh, buy it and it comes with the Final Fantasy 15 demo.
Oh,
You
Would have
know?
liked everyone to have the access, but of course they had to place it on there for sales.
Yeah, I think they said it was going to come out separately after the game, but I think at launch it's just going to be play the game and you get the demo.
Yeah.
Um, I mean that seems just like it's just an old kind of marketing tactic at this point, like promoting a demo to kind of do that because
Or, I mean, there have been some nowadays it's just betas. I mean, Doom,
yeah,
Wolfenstein New
betas,
Order,
yeah, beta access. But I mean it's
Battlefield.
not. Yeah, I mean it's not too often we even see just demos in general anymore. You know, especially promoted like this, where it's like buy this game and it comes with this demo. I mean, they did that back in the day with like Zone of Enders or something, where like buy this game and it comes with Metal Gear Solid 2 demo. Or
And then
oh,
people
Crash.
just tout Ground Zeroes now.
Oh yeah,
This would be
or
like the ultimate demo.
the ultimate demo. It's not a demo; you have to buy it. But or like Crash Bandicoot 3 back in the day had the Spyro demo on it.
Ooh.
But you had to type in the cheat code though. I remember you flip through the manual and like on the 7th page they had this thing at the bottom that said, "Hey, type in this code." And at the main menu, I type in the code and it's like, "Oh, Spyro the Dragon demo," and I'm like, "All right."
You said for Crash Bandicoot 3?
Yeah.
So which Spyro game was it by then? Because Spyro
The
and Crash
first one.
Bandicoot kind of went...
Nope.
Oh.
They didn't happen. Spyro started after Crash pretty much was done. After the third.
Oh,
Crash game,
because I thought that was like the thing where like Insomniac Games and Naughty Dog... Oh wait, that was until PS2 where like Ratchet and Clank and
Yeah.
Jak and Daxter kind of went
Spyro
together.
didn't-
There was
yeah,
always
Spyro
like
didn't
the like Insomniac Games versus Naughty Dog thing. Like who was the better game? And I remember like there was like a magazine cover with like Ratchet and Clank and then Jak looking at each other like who's the better like developer, Insomniac or Naughty Dog? Yeah, that was always funny because like they both make excellent games. So
Yeah, Spyro the Dragon didn't come out till around the time, like maybe either at the same time as Warped or maybe a little bit after.
Dang, I forgot about that. I kind of
Yeah.
thought the series kind of went hand in hand with both, but yeah, I didn't imagine because Crash Bandicoot was pretty early in the PS1 life cycle. I don't really remember Spyro being really that close. It was kind of a little bit more kind of toward the middle of the life cycle of it.
Yeah, because Crash Bandicoot Warped was kind of like the last Crash Bandicoot game. Because Naughty Dog still made one more, but it was like the racing game.
Yeah, there was Crash Team Racing, and then you had Crash Bash. Don't forget Crash Bash.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I forgot about Crash Bash. I saw something about that the other day, and I was like, I completely forgot about this game. Like, was that even that was developed by Naughty Dog?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I think it was like by Vicarious Visions or like a division of Universal.
Yeah, because that was basically their party game.
Yeah, they were trying to like they were trying to imitate the success of Mario Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't really work out that well.
Because that was the thing. Like, I always go back and play Crash Bandicoot every once in a while. Like, I have the PS1 Classic like loaded onto my. I have it loaded into my Vita actually. Crash Bandicoot 2. I got it. There was this weird glitch one night in the system on the Sony store and or the PlayStation Store, and all the PS1 classics were like active to like download on Vita. Like, if you bought it already, you can download to Vita. Like, because some have been approved, some haven't. Like, I don't know. There was this glitch one night where like all of them were like approved to work on Vita. So like, I went through my PS1 classics and I downloaded all the ones I couldn't download before. I could download Crash Bandicoot 2. I downloaded Metal Gear Solid 1. I was gonna go download Warp, but the problem was I had to scroll through my like freaking download list just to find it. So after I downloaded those first two, I didn't feel like doing it. So I was like, I'll download 3 tomorrow, and then by the next morning they locked them all. So I have Crash Bandicoot 2 and Metal Gear Solid 1 loaded onto my Vita, and I can never delete them because if I delete them, I can't re-download them to my Vita.
You better hope that your memory card never gets like formatted or like anything like that, or just corrupt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. So, but anyway, I always go back and play Crash Bandicoot at some point. Like, I always just feel like playing. I go back and play for a while, and I've played it since I was little. Since like 2 years old, probably.
I played 1 so many times, and then 3 so many times. 2 was the one I beat 2, but I didn't like go and grab everything. I mean, this doesn't take much to want like totally beat the first game, but the third game had like so much replayability in the levels because you can like go back and do different things. Yeah, 2 is the one that I didn't really fully complete. I mean, I beat the game, but I didn't get everything.
Well, that was the funny thing. Like we always play Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3, but like we never actually owned the first one. Like it was just weird. We only had the second and third one. Like we never even realized there was one that came before Crash Bandicoot 2. We always thought it was just Crash Bandicoot. And then like we're like, no, this is the second one. Like really? So it wasn't until like
was it even called Crash Bandicoot 2, or was it called Crash Bandicoot just like a subtitle?
Yeah, I think it was called Crash Bandicoot Cortex's Revenge or something.
Yeah, so it was like, well, that kind of sounds like a sequel though, like revenge.
Yeah,
like what are you getting revenge on? What are you getting revenge?
It's like
it sounds like
unless it's like you get like a little 5-minute prelude thing at the beginning where like he gets pissed off, and then the main game is like his revenge, and it's like, oh yeah, it's still kind of a weird name for the first one. Yeah, you know. But yeah, like we never realized there was really one before that one. Like we only just played 2 and 3 for the longest time. So really, it wasn't until like a couple of years ago, or I actually played the first one. My brother found a copy of the first one. We were like, he asked me like, "You ever played this?" I'm like, "No." So we loaded up and we're playing, and we're like, "This is really weird. Like it's so different from 2 and 3."
Yeah, the way it's formatted and everything.
The way it's formatted and the way you like go through the levels, it was really weird, and we just never played it ever. Like we never knew this existed. And you know, it really goes to show just how Naughty Dog like, you know, takes the development of sequels. You know, like the first game's kind of like almost a prototype, and then like the second and third one's like more the perfection of that idea. You know, because we saw that with Crash Bandicoot, and we kind of saw that with Uncharted, where like Uncharted 1 feels really dated compared to the other ones in the series. Yeah, as far as like the gameplay mechanics and stuff. So, and same thing with Jak 1. Jak 1's a completely different game from Jak 2 and 3. You know, it's just it's like night and day. Those two games, Jak and Daxter and Jak 2. So I mean, so yeah, it really makes you wonder, like, if Naughty Dog really makes Last of Us 2, like how good that game's gonna be. You know?
Oh, I know.
You know,
so Last of Us is like considered like the weird game. I mean, it's obviously gonna be a franchise, so like it's gonna be like the odd game. And then once you have like 2 and 3, it's going to be like so much better. Even when you go back to Uncharted 1, it's kind of like an odd game in some ways. I mean, you have to use the 6-axis to throw the grenade. What is this? And then you didn't see that in the later games.
Yeah, I think they patched that out, though. Like, you don't have to use the 6-axis.
I don't know. Well, I guess so, maybe.
Like, I don't remember using it. Like, I remember using it once, and then that was it. Like, I remember, like, either turning it off or there was an update or something. Like, I only remember, like, using it once.
Yeah, but you also have to use the 6-axis to, like, balance yourself on, like, surfaces and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still wasn't as bad as Golden Abyss. That one I struggle, like, doing the balancing. Like, my Vita's
probably laying down on the Vita and playing it or something.
That's probably what it is. I'm, like, laying down in bed trying to balance this thing. I'm like, oh.
No, I think the most dumbest gimmick of Golden Abyss was the light thing.
Oh, God, yeah. I remember when I got to that part.
I would put that against the brightest light and it would work.
Yeah, like, I remember when I got to that part in Golden Abyss when I was playing, it's like, oh, hold your Vita up to the light to reveal the map. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of class. Like, I'm waiting for class to start, so I'm just sitting there at my desk. And I'm looking around, and I don't want to look like an idiot holding my Vita above my head, you know?
I don't know. Depending what classroom you have, classrooms are pretty bright.
I don't know, because I was sitting at my desk, and I was turning it upside down, trying to get the light, and it wasn't working. So I was like, crap. So I'm like slowly picking my hands up, trying to get towards the light above my head. I'm trying to look like an idiot, just raising my Vita above my head.
Yeah.
And then freaking Assassin's Creed Liberation did the same thing, where it was like, hold up to the light. And it's like, oh, God, I'm not a good point to do this. And you can't go forward until you do it. So I'm just like, oh, man. Trying to get that light.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that those gimmicks are like, were so slowly churned out of the Vita.
Yeah. I mean, those two are bad examples because I couldn't like progress in the game because of where I physically was at. You know, I didn't want to hold my Vita above my head.
Right.
But the other one that was really bad was Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. That one was so gimmicky. Like the game itself is good. It's just those like mini games, those gimmicks were just bad. Like on Vita, like when you do the worst was the the training montage. There's this training montage level where you do a bunch of mini games, and you have to like there's a trophy where you have to do it perfect, and so you have to knock everything right. You got to get your timing right. You got to do the balancing right. Like the balancing, I don't know. I guess my Vita was just really sensitive. Like there's this balancing mini game where I just could not win. Like I just could not win on Vita. So I like uploaded my files to the cloud, did it on PS3 with the 6-axis, and loaded the file back to my Vita because I was just not getting it on Vita. The balancing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So, but yeah, it's like you said, we're kind of moving away from the gimmicks, and I mean that's always the big thing is like, you know, when you move away from the gimmicks, but then you kind of start losing functionality of your controller or your your system.
Well, I suppose, but I mean now with the Vita, I mean people are not really tolerating that stuff anymore. I mean, I see at least a future in the hardware of like the DualShock 4. I mean, we're going to have Tearaway that's going to come out, and Harmonix will make use of it as well. But at least there's a future there, but for the Vita, no. Honestly, like the back touchpad, no. And then just everything else with the camera that you got to do, I think that's long gone.
Yeah. I mean, of course, touchscreen's there. It's just
yes, touchscreen will always be there. Touchscreen works just fine. It works like a touchscreen. It's always that's like a given. But like the other ancillary things that are there, it's just forget it.
Yeah, because yeah. See, that was another problem I had with Golden Abyss was that and they never patched it. But like you have to navigate the main menu with the touchscreen. You can't use the buttons to navigate the main menu. And,
until that came out with a firmware update.
They actually updated it because as far as I remember, last time I played it, I couldn't. No, in Golden Abyss, like the Vita itself,
Golden Abyss.
Navigate.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I thought you meant just the general UI. Oh, then I don't know about that. I mean, I haven't played Golden Abyss in like 2 years almost.
Yeah, Vita in general, like the Vita itself, you could not navigate the menu unless you use the buttons. And that really annoyed me because like the first week or so I had my Vita, I didn't have a screen protector, so I was really like paranoid to touch the screen until I get a screen protector. So I was just like lightly flicking through the menu or whatever.
Do you still have a screen protector on your Vita?
Yeah.
I
put a screen
don't.
protector on and it stayed on there. I mean, it's just a little screen. It's not like you're not even gonna notice it's there. I mean, I just want to protect it. I don't want to smudge up the actual physical screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it took a while to update for that. But Golden Abyss never got updated as far as the main menu, where like you have to navigate the main menu with the touch screen.
Yeah, that I'm not so sure about, but yeah, maybe it hasn't gotten updated.
Yeah, but as far as PS4, like with the touchpad on the DualShock, like, it's I can't think of any game that just used it absolutely wrong so far.
Yeah, nothing that's been terrible. I mean, it's been used to. I mean, well, it was used in Infamous Second Son, just barely used.
Yeah, but that was the thing with like Infamous Second Son. Like when they like at first
when they first
I was
showed
like,
it.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh crap, like when they first showed it, and then like when I started playing, I was like, oh, you have to use a touchpad to open the door, and I'm like, why can't I just press X? You know?
Yeah.
It's like no, to use the touchpad, but like after a while, it wasn't so bad, and.
Yeah, they wanted to really treat it as like another button, which it is actually. You can actually press down on it.
But it just feels weird, like open the door, and it's like, but my thumb's already on X, and instead you got to reach out and hit the touchpad. Like, but my thumb's already on X. I can just press X and open the door.
Yeah, but for open world games, sometimes I get a little confused of what to use the touchpad for because I mean, usually for open world games, touchpad is like the oh my god, the map. Yeah. And then I get a little confused with the options button because I really don't like the options or the share buttons because of how small they are and just how you have to go over there. So some games I get a little confused as to which. I mean, just about all of them do except like GTA. GTA, you have the touchpad uses it to like switch weapons or like change the radio station. But like another open world game, Sleeping Dogs, Assassin's Creed, games like that, you use the touchpad to open up the map. And you can like scroll through it with your finger, which works well.
Yeah.
I think you also do the same for Far Cry too.
Yeah, Far Cry does that. You can like when you touch the pad, you can like swap between your weapons, like circle through the wheel. But when you actually press the whole thing down, it pulls the map up.
Yeah.
I wonder if like no, they won't have it in. I'm about to say because Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5 won't have it because the time frame, the iPod wasn't invented yet. But like how like in Metal Gear Solid 4 you had that iPod even equipped. So that'd be cool if you had the iPod equipped and you can like scroll it like scroll on the touchpad. Like you'd be scrolling on a real iPod. Mm-hmm. But they can't have that in Metal Gear Solid 5 because it's in the 80s. So you can have a Walkman, and it won't have the touchpad on it.
I don't know. Anything's possible in Metal Gear, so maybe that could happen.
It's from the
it doesn't matter about time. Anything happens. Anything's possible.
They're going to be revealed that what's his name invented the iPod.
Oh yeah, way back when.
Way back when, yeah. But yeah, it'd be crazy. But and then like Infamous Second Son though, like he used the touchpad, but also Infamous Second Son did kind of like one of the neatest things with the controller so far is when you do the paint can thing.
Oh yeah, that was just you moving it around.
But it was cool. Like you had to hold it sideways. You shook it up, and you hear the little.
That's if you wanted to. I generally didn't do that.
Oh, you didn't have to shake it?
Well, I mean, yeah, I had to shake it, but I didn't like move. I didn't hold it sideways as I was spray painting. I just kind of like had it.
Yeah, but it doesn't. But it doesn't line up right if you don't hold it sideways. Like I don't know. For me, like it was so off, like calibration as far as like where the
like it kept shaking up.
Yeah, so like I had to hold it sideways just for the little reticle to line up with my controller.
Oh. Well,
like I had to hold it sideways, yeah, for the line up. But that was so cool. You hold it sideways, you shake it like a paint can, and then you can hear the thing rattling, and you press it like a trigger on like a spray can, and you spray it. And that was really cool. Or what's another game? One game that did it pretty cool. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I thought it was really cool. In the game, Stick It to the Man.
Stick it to the man.
Yeah, that was really cool. Underappreciated game. But in that game, you're psychic and you can like read people's minds. And the really cool thing is when you read a person's mind, their thoughts come out through the speaker on the controller, which is really cool. And I don't know if it's intentional or not, or maybe it's just me, but like the sounds were coming out really low out of the controller, and I don't know. And it wasn't my controller volume because I went to settings; it was all the way up. But the thoughts were still coming out really low. So I was like, So when I would read the person's thoughts, I would take the controller and I put it up to my head to listen to it better, to listen to the thoughts. And wait, then it occurred to me, oh, wait, I'm doing like a psychic person. You know how like you see in the cartoons when they put their fingers up to their head?
Yeah.
To hear a person's thoughts? So I don't know if that was intentional or not. Like they intentionally put it low so you put the controller to your forehead to hear it. Like, because if that was intentional, that's awesome. Like they wanted you to be like a psychic, put your hands to your head to hear the voices.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't know if that was intentional or not. But that's how it came off to me. Like this is awesome. Like it's making me do like a psychic. I put my hands to my head to hear the voices.
Doesn't sound intentional.
Either way, it's still pretty cool. Like there's something I picked up on it. Like that's something.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess we can get back to the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, we rambled there. But that's okay. That's good. A few other little news items here. Here's one. Super Stardust Ultra releases on February 10th. So if you hear, by the time you're hearing this, that game's is already out. But it's still there. There is a PlayStation Plus discount.
Which I gotta get on it.
It's like $13.99 or something like that.
But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, it's like $10.30 something, like a really random price, which I don't like because if I had just wanted to get $10, I'm sure like 30 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not good.
Well, no, if you go over $5, it'll take you out the exact amount.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Okay. But the cool thing about the game is that it runs at 1080p and it runs at 60 frames per second, and it supports 3D. You can play the game in 3D on your PS4.
Is that like the first 3D game on PS4?
No, and that's not the first time you've asked me that.
What other PS4 3D games are there?
Like, no, seriously, you've asked me this on like a previous episode. I'm pretty sure you did. 2 other games are in 3D that I know for sure. Trying 2 is in 3D.
Ugh.
And I think Zen Pinball is in 3D.
And then you could view a slew of 3D movies on Blu-ray on PS4 because I had to get patched in.
Yes.
I mean, they have a resort for a downloadable game of the Sony first-party game to be. Well, Housemarque is not first-party, but because they make games on other platforms. But I don't know. They had to rely on an exclusive game to be 3D and a downloadable one at that. So I don't know. This doesn't spell any more 3D support, really. This is just one that's kind of like, eh. But
yeah, no, it reminds me because like I remember somewhere I read a review for Entwined. Remember that game?
Yeah.
On PS4. Yeah, where you like, yeah. Anyway, so I was reading the review and like one of the negatives at the bottom said this game could actually have really benefited from being in 3D, and I was like,
why?
I was like, no, because the way the game's designed, like you go through like a tunnel and there's like these like colors and stuff, like it would have looked really good in 3D.
I don't know. It looks like a game that would put me to sleep. It looks kind of boring, even for an indie game.
Well, anyway, but they said it would probably.
Try it out, though.
Yeah, they said it, like the review saying like this is a game that feels like it could have actually benefited from the 3D, kind of just with the, just the way it would look. Like it looks like it would work well in 3D. Yeah. And I was just really surprised. Like that's in one of the negatives. It doesn't support 3D, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like some guys here is like noticing that the game right here could use 3D, or at least acknowledging that a game could benefit from having 3D.
I suppose that's really rare, though. I mean, just the way that's designed, that's rare. I mean, that's not for any other games that could really say that. I guess it's just Entwined.
Yeah.
But actually, I smell that game being free for Plus rather soon.
Probably pretty much every downloadable game will be free on PlayStation.
No, but this one I smell a bit more. I mean, I don't say it. Yeah, like Cost Quest 2, all those other games I've just recently put up for sale. No, or
yeah,
Grim Fandango. No,
Caution Quest 2 is $3. That's practically free.
But it's not. So I smell like the two right away is like Nidhogg or oh my gosh, or Entwined. And then for AAA releases, we could see Neck or Killzone Shadowfall, either of the launch games.
Okay.
But like I said, but Neck isn't a very good game, so even if you get, I mean, yeah, sure, download if you want, but download at your own discretion.
Yeah, because the only retail game we got was what, Injustice?
Yeah, a AAA big game. That's more than like 10 gigs. Injustice.
Yeah. Yeah, but like going back to the free games coming free on Plus, another thing is it reminds me of Transistor. Like Transistor, for the longest time, like I put off buying that game because like I didn't buy it at launch. It got on sale at one point, which I really considered buying, but I didn't. And then when Sony had that 10% discount like 2 weeks ago, I really thought about buying Transistor, but I was like, I only saved like $2. And it's a good thing I didn't buy it because a week later, after that 10% thing happened, they said Transistor would be free with PlayStation Plus. So I finally got it and I played it the other day, and it's really good. And
yes,
and this is the thing where like see, it's just one of those things where like I waited and it's free and I almost bought it. So yeah, I mean most of these games end up free at some point. Like one game I'm surprised hasn't been free yet is like Octodad, because that was a big
that one spells free.
Yeah, like that was when they first announced it. Like I was expecting it to like be a launch game, launch
free,
launch free on PlayStation Plus. Like when they
that one I didn't really see because I mean even though yes it was on PC, but that one they really had to port, and it took time.
Yeah, but I don't know. That one just seems to me like it was going to be a free game, and it hasn't been free yet. And now they're doing a Vita version, and I don't know if the Vita version can be cross-buy or what. I don't think they said yet.
Yeah.
Because I do have Octodad. Like that's one of the few like PSN downloadable games I bought like right away. I bought that like day one because it was like $10 with the discount, the plus discount.
Yeah.
It was like that, and what was the other thing? Oh, and then I bought Resident Evil HD last week, and apparently a lot of people bought Resident Evil HD last week.
Yeah, it was like the top selling. game.
No, did you see? It's more than that. Like it was a top seller for the month, but it was the biggest digital launch Sony's ever had in the PlayStation Store.
That's crazy.
It sold more digital copies day one than Destiny did day one.
But they did say that's digital only game. That Destiny is digital and retail.
Yeah, but it's still it's still a pretty big deal that this sold, that well.
Yeah, because previous records were like Infamous, Festival of Blood, Journey, games like that. So,
So this sold really well, and I bought it, and I think one thing too that kind of did it was the whole. This might have helped. But I know, like one reason, like I know I pre-ordered it because I wanted the cross buy, because that was the thing. Like, oh no, you only get the cross buy if you pre-order it.
Yeah,
they get the PS3 version. So I was like, okay, well, I'll pre-order so I can make sure I get the cross buy, and and then it wasn't too much. It was $20, and it's an old classic game. Like people who played Resident Evil back in the day on PS1 love it. They want to be able to play it again with trophies, and enhanced controls and graphics and whatnot. And then there's just a lot of people who haven't played the original Resident Evil, and they're like, okay, this is a chance to do that, to play it and experience it, in a different way and do trophies and all that. And, and that's what Capcom, and that's what I always thought. And what a lot of people are saying is that this game was basically just a test of waters to see what people want from Resident Evil. Like, do they want the old classic? Like
it was pretty much a no-brainer
thing. And yeah, this thing's a huge success for Capcom. So this is a sign to them saying, hey, this is what the fans want, And
Easy.
This will probably lead to remasters of the other ones, because already a thing got leaked out before Resident Evil 1 even came out. There's a thing got leaked out that they were already working on a remaster for Resident Evil 0.
There you go.
Which will probably do really well also, because the thing about Resident Evil 0 was that was a GameCube game. It was only on GameCube, so that would be even bigger, because that's a game that like I haven't played, and a lot of people probably haven't played because it was only on GameCube. So, that'd be kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And oh boy, if they ever get to Resident Evil 2, that one's going to be big too, because that's the big one everyone loves, Resident Evil 2. Out of the original PS1 games.
They'll probably remaster that one soon.
Oh yeah, they're good. They know that Resident Evil 2 is like, I'm about to say, it's almost like the Final Fantasy 7 of the series, where it's the one that all the fans talk about. Like everybody goes on and on about it. Which that's the next one. Final Fantasy, that goes to show Final Fantasy 7 will probably do really well once it finally launches on PS4, despite everyone complaining that it's not a full remake, it's just a remaster, but it's still going to sell really well. If Resident Evil did this good, Final Fantasy 7 is going to do probably just as good.
Yeah, I'm buying it. So
you can replay it with trophies and all that.
Trophies are a seller.
Oh yeah. So it's kind of making that patent look like it's going down the drain. That Sony patent where they had a thing where they can like make PS1 games have trophies without doing anything.
It's just one game. Two.
No.
What?
Because of this, every PS1 game is going to get remastered now.
No, not really. That's too many games. They and then all the rights and work that would have to go into it. That's just Capcom's library.
Maybe not all of them, but I think
that's just like two companies. They ruled the PS1 library a lot, but it's not every game. There were more games on PS1 than just those.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, they're landmark titles, but like there are other games on PS1 that would benefit from getting trophies as well, and they don't have to see the remaster treatment because that takes work. Because not every single game can go get remastered. Whether they're from like Disney Interactive or like any other kind of games, they're a little tougher.
I know, but
because Capcom was able to do it because that's their own game. That's their first party Capcom game. Final Fantasy is Square Enix. They own it. There's like they don't have resources to full out remaster the game.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where like I'm not saying.
But then Sony patents things all the time. It's not useless. They made all sorts of other useless patents that they don't even use. They just use it. They just patent it so that no one else can take it. But this,
I know, but
I see through.
I don't know. But what I'm saying is they did this patent where like there's like this program they made where like basically a PS1 game can get trophies without them having to really do anything other than basically just make the trophies.
Putting it up as a PS1 classic and just putting trophies.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I don't know, like, they might not need the patent if they can just, if developers think, oh, well, we can just remaster the old PS1 games and sell it as a new thing. Because the big thing with this trophy thing was that, oh, if you already own it, like, as a PS1 classic, then you just play it again, there's trophies. Like, if I go back and play Crash Bandicoot Warped, the trophies are there.
I was wondering how that would actually happen, because that sounds like it would have to be patched in, because you can't just have trophies there. Because Metal Gear Solid 4 had to be patched with trophies. And granted, it took out multiplayer as well, but it had to be patched in with trophies.
Yeah, but you can't patch a PS1 game. It'd be all cloud based. Like it would link to the cloud. Like your account would link and your like a cloud server would detect, oh, you're playing Crash Bandicoot. So here's a trophy.
Sounds like a PlayStation Now thing.
Yeah, like it wouldn't be like in the game, or it wouldn't be like directly linked to the game.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I don't know how you get through that.
But what I'm saying is, now that this remaster thing is a success, we're going to see we're going to see more remasters. I'm not saying every single PS1 game is going to get remastered, but we will see more now. Like, Resident Evil is going to do the same. We know Final Fantasy VII is coming. We know, like I said, they're probably going to do Resident Evil 2 and 3 now as remasters. Which, is okay for some games, because, like, I would love to see Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3 remastered, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's happening. Yeah, Naughty Dog would not do that. Someone else would have to.
And then it's always a little, fuzzy if Sony still even owns those completely or not. And I don't know.
The games?
Yeah.
Even though those were Sony published first party,
it's still one of those. It's still one of those things where, like, if the IP overrules it or whatever, it's kind of fuzzy. About those games. But yeah, I would love to see those remastered with trophies or whatever. I would buy those right away. Or something like Medieval. Like, I would love to see Medieval come back in a remaster. Hell, I would love to see a new Medieval game, because I'm like one of the few people that care about that franchise.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was the saddest thing when, like, PlayStation All-Stars came out. Like Sir Daniel was the most obscure character, and I'm like, you guys really don't know who that is, and you're really calling him the most obscure character?
Yes.
Come in here.
Oh.
So.
Well, you want to?
But yeah, it's really weird doing that. Are you still there? My co-host has been called away for a minute, so I'm just gonna have to keep talking about what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, like, I was just I really want to see Medieval franchise come back, because I'm one of the few people that care, and it was really weird to see in PlayStation All Stars that Sir Daniel was, like, the most obscure character, which was really weird to me, because, like, I know this character. I played the first two games a lot on PS1. I love those games. So, I was really excited to see that character, but it was just really also sad to see that, he's considered the obscure one out of the bunch, because, like, I know they had, like, what's his name? The one from Ape Escape? Oh, God, I can't remember the character's name now. Because, like, I never played Ape Escape. Like, I've heard of the game, but, like, I never really played it. And then even the character they use, like, it is a character from the games, but, like, it was from a specific Japanese game that didn't get properly released here, so it's kind of... I don't know, it's kind of weird that they went with that one. Yeah, but I would love to see a new Medieval game, because I know there was, like, a thing a while back when, like, Medieval Moves came out. Like, there's, like, a trademark thing for Medieval or whatever, and like, I freaked out and other people freaked out, like, oh, it's a new Medieval game, and it's like, no, it's Medieval Moves. It's this move game where you just play as a little knight skeleton, you do these, like, move mini games or whatnot. But yeah, I was hoping for a new Medieval game. Now, the most recent Medieval game we got was Medieval Resurrection back on PSP, which that game, oh man, that game, it was weird. Like, I went the longest time without playing it, and I finally played on PSP, and then as I was playing, I realized, oh wait, this is a remake of the first one. I'm like, okay, it's a complete remake of the first one, but it completely loses the tone. Like, the first Medieval had this, like, gothic kind of almost Tim Burton feel to it, where the remake just took all that away. Like, the remake on PSP was kind of going for this comedic edge, which it's not that the first one didn't have humor in it. It's just kind of like a light, dark kind of sense of humor, where the remake was just all like over the top, and the game thought it was funnier than it was, and it just wasn't. And a big change too was the like in the original game, when you would kill enough zombies, you would go to the like the meat hall or whatever, and you get like new weapons. And in the original game, it was like this dark, kind of creepy looking place. But like in the remake, it was no, you went to like heaven or whatever. It was like clouds and like angels or like angel things or whatever. And it was just really weird. Like it's just completely changed the tone, and I didn't like it. I was really put off by that. So yeah. Oh, where did my co-host go? He's still not back. He didn't tell me anything. He didn't tell me to pause. I was going to keep going. Just a few heads up out there. Just there is a free multiplayer weekend on PS4 this weekend. So if you're hearing this, this should be up tonight. Probably today's Wednesday. It might be up either tonight or Wednesday or Thursday morning. Probably up maybe for Wednesday because we're recording this pretty early. So it's this weekend starting Friday, going into the weekend, I think till Monday. It's a free multiplayer weekend on PS4. So if you don't have PlayStation Plus and you want to play some games online, it's there. Just to let you guys know that. I might have to pause the recording. My co-host still isn't back. I don't know what he's doing. And we're at the end of this. I need to be here to wrap this up. I'm gonna pause for a second. All right, sorry for that cut there. I don't know what happened. My co-host had to unexpectedly leave, so I'm just gonna do the wrap up solo here. So as he mentioned, though, we do have a code to give away. We have a PSN code for the first episode of Wolf Among Us for PS3. And if you want that PSN code, you can just do like we did last time. You can message us in a variety of ways. You can message us just saying, hey, I want that code. We'll enter you, and we will draw a winner next week. And you can message us at PSN bayouboyz to message me. You can message my co-host, PSN doubleis. Both of these will be spelled out in the description. You can also comment directly on the YouTube video. You can message me on the YouTube channel. You can message me directly through that. You can also go to our fan page on Facebook. We have that now, the PSBS. I will have a link to that in the description. You can go like us on there, comment us on there, or message the channel direct, or message the page directly saying, hey, I want that code. Or, if you have viewer mail, if you have any viewer mail, you can send us there. We'll get them answered for next week. Trying to think if I have any little sign-offs to say. I think that's it. So, with that, we come to the close of our fourth episode of the PSBS. That is the PlayStation Bull Session podcast. I am your host, Cote, PSN bayouboyz. My co-host, who was here, is Andrew, PSN doubleis. And we are signing off saying, have a good week. Thanks all for listening, and thanks for everyone who was watched last week. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week.